Thank you, Martin. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or perhaps good morning, depending upon wherever you are based. Welcome to this session. And first of all, many congratulations if you're new to the qualification. As Martin said, if you're a new ACCA student, then you are at the right place. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I was just going through the chat, and it's really lovely to see that there are students joining from all over the world. And before we get into the thick of things, I would like to thank my colleagues who are behind the scene, who are working tirelessly in the background, and who have made this session possible. So thanks to Martin, Taylor, to Allison for all the help. So thank you very much for joining today. Why we are here today, we will be, this is the agenda for today's session. We are here to share a little bit about ACCA and our qualification journey. We will also be touching upon how to study effectively and help you plan the first steps of your ACCA journey with confidence. Moreover, we will also highlight some of the key ACCA resources in the hope to motivate you to book your first ACCA exam and to study more effectively. And lastly, we have a wealth of resources which are categorically designed to help you and to execute successful exam strategy and to help you make good progress on your pathway to ACCA membership. So this is our today's session outline. As Martin mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box so that our teams can start responding to your questions as we progress through the session. So first of all, before we get into the details of the technical side, just a bit of background on us, who we are. So we are ACCA. ACCA stands for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. It's a UK-based accountancy body which was founded in 1904. And actually, just the last year, we celebrated our 120th birthday. That speaks, or that shows, that we have long championed the inclusion. And today we are proud to say that we have more than 250,000 ACCA members around the world. And we have over 500,000 future members who are progressing towards the ACCA membership. So on this slide, you can see all the amazing numbers that we are very proud of, that our members and our future members are based in 180 countries. We have over 117 offices in 51 countries. We work with approximately 8,000 approved employers throughout the world. We have more than 312 to be precise, learning partners, and all other amazing numbers with regards to our strategic partnerships and the accredited institutes that we work with. Moving forward, now let's take a look at what it means to be on the ACCA qualification journey. So ACCA qualification journey means that your ultimate destination is to become an ACCA member. So in order to become an ACCA member, you have to satisfy the three requirements, or the three components of the qualification, which we also refer to as 3 E's of the qualification. So the first one is exams. Second is ethics, or ethics and professional skills module. And the third component, or the third building block of the qualification, is experience. So in total, there are 13 exams, depending upon where you are starting your journey from. In total, there are 13 exams in the ACCA qualification. Once you're done with your exams, or as you are progressing through your exam, the second component of the qualification is called ethics. So we have an online module called ethics and professional skills module. And third, where professional qualifications are different from other academic qualifications, is the mandatory inclusion of 3 years practical experience requirement. And once you have completed all three components, all three building blocks of the qualification, you then progress onto the ACCA membership. Now let's take a look at how the qualification is structured. So on this slide, you can see all the three components of the qualification, and this slide also explains the various entry points into the ACCA qualification. So for example, there are students who satisfy the minimum entry requirements of the qualification, and they start their journeys directly from the first paper in the ACCA qualification. However, if you do not meet the minimum entry requirements, we also offer the Foundations in Accountancy program. Foundations in Accountancy program is ideal for those who are new to the finance or who are already working in finance, but they have no formal qualifications. So in order to have a formal or better understanding of how finance works in order to progress your career, FIA is the entry point. So if you're starting with the FIA or if you're starting with the ACCA qualification, the ACCA qualification are mainly divided into three parts. First is applied knowledge level exams. So at this level, we have three exams. Applied knowledge level exams are designed in a way that they help you develop essential understanding and techniques in accounting. And there are three exams in this level. Once you are done with these three exams, then you move on to the applied skills level exams, where we have 6 exams. So applied skills exams build on existing knowledge and understanding and develop strong, broad, and practical finance skills which are required for future accountants to progress or to be successful in any sector of the world. Then you can see in between, in the middle, we have the module which is called ethics and professional skills. Now, it is possible for students that they can continue with this module once they are finished with all the exams, but we strongly recommend that you go for the ethics and professional skills module before you give any exams at the strategic professional level, because the different elements within the ethics and professional skills module will help you getting those professional marks at the strategic professional level. And at the end, once we enter into the strategic professional level exams, these exams are further divided into two parts. First part is called Strategic Professional Essentials, where you have 2 exams. And then there are 4 exams at the options level, where you need to pass any 2 in order to complete all 13 exams. And you can see that beneath or, overarching theme is the practical experience requirement. That means in order to move on to the ACCA membership level, you have to complete a 3 years practical experience requirement in a relevant field, which are auditing, taxation, finance, accountancy related role. And once you have satisfied all of these 3 requirements, you can progress on to the ACCA membership. Moving on, let's take a look at what do we mean by exemptions. So throughout the world, ACCA partners with a number of colleges and universities across the world. Now, if you have studied with any of these universities or if any of these colleges, that means you might be eligible for certain number of exemptions into the ACCA qualification. What do we mean by these exemptions? So these exemptions means that you don't have to study for the same exams which you have already studied at your university or at your college level. So ACCA awards based on your prior learning, ACCA awards anything between 4 up to a maximum of 9 exemptions. How you can check your exemptions? You can simply go on to Google and you can type in ACCA exemptions calculator. The first link on the Google search will lead you to the page which you can see here on your screen. So once you're on this screen, you simply need to type in the name of your institute in the chat box where you need to write, what is the name of your institute. Then you need to select the country where your institute or where your university is situated. And on the basis of that, you can easily find out the number of exemptions that you can expect into the ACCA qualification. However, if you are coming with some exemptions, we strongly recommend that you get used to or you make use of ACCA's Get Ready modules. That means if you are coming into the ACCA qualification with some exemptions, you might be studying for a subject that builds on the underlying knowledge from another exam. What do we mean by that? So that means, for example, if you are exempt from the applied knowledge level exams, which are the first 3 papers of the ACCA, and you're directly starting with the applied skills, and the first paper that you're sitting with is the performance management exam. So in order to be successful in the performance management exam, there are certain knowledge elements which are being covered at the management accounting level exam at the applied knowledge level. So once you make use of these Get Ready modules, these will help you cover or refresh any of the underlying knowledge that you need in order to be successful at the applied skills level. How you can get access to the Get Ready modules? There is there is a platform called Student Virtual Learn, where you can go and you can get, you can get access to these Get Ready modules. There will be certain quizzes, certain questions that we will ask you in order to establish that what type of background information you have. So make sure that if you have exemptions from any paper and you are moving on to the next level, you make yourself familiar, or you make sure you are going through these Get Ready modules. Again, moving on to the On-Demand Hub. Now, if you're not getting any exemption, or if you're starting your journey at the applied knowledge level, or if you're starting your exams at the foundations level, you will be planning on to sit for any of the ACCA's on-demand exams. So the first 3 papers in the foundations, or the first 4 papers at the ACCA level, are called the on-demand exams, or the on-demand computer-based exams. So in order to support students who are starting off at the foundations level, or who are starting at the applied knowledge level, we have a range of excellent resources to help you support your journey through this stage of the qualification. So in order to get access to these resources, you can simply go to Google and type ACCA On-Demand Hub, which will lead you to our website, where you can find more information on all these key resources. And these key resources include like ACCA practice test, specimen exam debrief, and ACCA-X. For example, ACCA practice test is, it will help you in getting more practice before you go for the final exam. Specimen exam debrief is something that you are, once you're a bit further through your studies, these will help you in understanding that whether your understanding of the various questions are correct or not. And ACCA-X is a platform where you can get interactive courses which will prepare you for the foundations in accountancy courses and the applied knowledge level exams from the ACCA qualification. So make sure that you go through On-Demand Hub and get yourself familiar with these on-demand resources as well. Now we will talk about what does it mean to study effectively. So if you're new to the journey, we can clearly understand that getting onto the ACCA journey can be intimidating, especially if you have no idea that how to plan or how to go about the ACCA examination. It can be very overwhelming at times. So before you start planning for any exam, we have these 3 pillars of success, which we can share with you, that before going for any of these exams, you need to make sure that you are making yourself familiar with these 3 key pillars of the preparation phase. So the first phase is the planning phase, and there is a very important saying which I can relate to very closely, and the saying goes by, if you're failing to plan, that means you are failing to plan. So the first element within your journey should be that you need to find out that which exam you want to go for. So for example, if you're starting at the applied knowledge level, or if you're starting at the applied skills level, depending upon your prior qualification, the first thing should be that you need to decide which exam you want to go for. Whether you're going for performance management exam, you're going for corporate and business law exam, you're going for the taxation paper, you need to find out which exam will be best suited for you and how you can decide about which exam is best for you. So we have a wonderful resource called Pathway Videos. So make sure that once again, you can go on to ACCA's website and you can search for ACCA Pathway Videos. These are bite-sized videos which will help you decide which exam would be ideal for you to start off. Once you have decided which exam you want to go for, then you have to start working backwards. So for example, first of all, you'll be booking for that exam, and then you need to start backward, that how much time you have before your exam take place. And then you need to decide, you need to start by working out how much time you have until the exam, and then allocate your time to learning and revision. And there is a very important tool which I would like to share with you, which is ACCA Compass Planning Tool. Again, you can simply go to Google and search for ACCA Compass Planning Tool as well, which will help you decide, or which will help you build an effective study plan. So make sure that you have a proper plan in place before you move on to the learning or to the practice phase. So once you have decided, or once you have a plan in place, the next part is the learning phase. And before starting, or before going into the learning phase, the most important or crucial part is getting to familiarize yourself with this ACCA study guides or the ACCA syllabus. That's very important. You need to be able to understand that what you are going for. That's why in the learning phase, it is important that you cover the full syllabus of that paper. And you are in the learning phase, you are dividing the learning into three parts. So first is you're going through the syllabus. Second, you are putting in sufficient time for the revision. And third, before the exam and even during your learning phase as well, you need to assign some time for the practice as well. So now coming to the last part, which is a practice part, it is important that you, whatever you are learning, you are actually attempting exam standard questions, and also the debrief videos, which we have on our study support resources. You are making, you need to make sure that you are putting whatever you're learning into practice as well, because ACC exams are all about practice. And if you're not getting enough practice, that means, once you get into the actual exam environment, you'll find it very difficult to go through, to be able to match or meet with the exam pressure. And as you get to the revision, you also need to make sure that along with the revision, you are putting things into practice as well. So these are the three important elements. And through all these three resources, which are planning, learning, and practice, you also need to make sure that you are going through all the support resources which are available. So we have support resources available for planning phase. We have a wealth of support resources available for the learning phase. And also we have a lot of resources available which will help you in the practice phase as well. Now, moving forward, once you have decided on your planning, your learning, and practice phase, also you need to make sure that you have to maximize your chances of passing your exam. So in order to maximize your chances of passing your exam, these are some very useful tools that you need to make sure that you are making yourself familiar with. So number one, that we strongly recommend that you study with an approved learning partners. So throughout the world, as you might have seen in the previous slide, that we have more than 300 approved employers throughout the world. And if you're not sure, if you have any approved learning partner in your region or not, you can again go to Google, and you can search for ACCA tuition provider directory. And then you can search for an approved learning partner in your respective country or region. If you do not have an ALP in your region, you can make use of the online ALPs which are available globally. So if, for example, if you're based in a region where there is no face-to-face learning provider available, you can make use of our online ALPs, which are providing tuition to our students throughout the world. Second thing is making use of ACCA Study Hub, study support resources, and ACCA Study Hub. We will be touching upon both of these things going forward. And third, again, as we covered in the previous slide as well, whatever you are studying, if you're not putting things into practice, if you're not doing enough practice, you need to make sure that you are going through enough practice by attempting mock exams and different practice tests, because these will make sure that you have more chances of passing your exam in the first go. If you are studying with an ACCA's approved learning partner, that will ensure that you have 25% more chances of passing your exam in the first go as compared to the students who go for the self-study. So again, studying with an approved learning partner will help you get to study in a structured way. You will have more support resources available. You'll get to study with an expert tutor as well. So again, make sure that you're studying with an approved learning partner. Now, moving forward, while we are putting a lot of emphasis on practice, so we have a support resource available, which goes by the name of ACCA Practice Platform, which is a free online platform that reflects the live exam experience. So Once again, we cannot emphasize enough that while you are in the revision phase, while you are practicing your exam, make sure you are familiarizing yourself with ACCA practice platform, because there is a range of content which will allow you to practice and then debrief your answers. Not only this, it also allows students to become familiar with word processing and spreadsheet shortcuts, which are part of the ACCA examination. So it is very important that you get yourself familiarized with ACCA practice platform along with other study support resources. Now, moving on to the most favorite part for every student, that is myACCA. I'm sure if you are already on the ACCA journey, this term is not new to you. So ACCA is everything, anything that you want to access, you can access it through your myACCA account. Here is a screenshot from a student's myACCA account. So what do you see on your left hand side? You can see that there is a navigation menu where you can toggle between dashboard, my qualification. You can pay your fee through your myACCA account. You can download different documents from your myACCA account as well, and you can also make changes to certain details on the myACCA account as well. So as you can see on this screenshot, you can download or you can see the detailed exam history. Also, there is a link if you're not sure where to find an approved learning partner. So there is a link which will take you directly to the tuition provider directory. The students who are still at the applied knowledge level, who are in the foundations and accountancy level, they can get access to the on-demand practice test. There is a link that will take you directly to CBE practice platform. And there is also a link to ACCA Study Hub as well. So make sure that you get to know what is there, or what are the resources available directly through your myACCA account. So make sure that you keep on visiting your myACCA account more regularly. Okay, now the things that we were talking about throughout, which are the ACCA study support resources. So ACCA is committed to supporting your qualification journey and offering numerous free study support resources to enable your exam success. So as part of the study support resources, you can access past and specimen exams, you can access mock exams, you will also have access to examiner's report and topic explainer videos. So how you can get access to the study support resources, if you allow me to share my screen, I will take you directly to ACCA's website to give you a quick demo how you can do that. So if you can see my screen now, I'm onto the ACCA website. And on the ACCA website, you need to hover your mouse over to the student tab. And here you can see the third element on this menu is the study support resources. If you click on ACCA study support resources, it will take you to this page where you can find resources depending upon which qualification you are pursuing, whether you are on the ACCA qualification or on the foundations level. So let's, just for the sake of example, we'll click on the ACCA qualification. And again, we can just click on any of the papers. So let's take the example of performance management. So once you click on performance management, you will see the range of resources which are available just for that one paper. It is taking a bit of time, so I'll just click again. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, so once you clicked on the performance management, you can see that how many resources are available here. It starts with the introduction to performance management, which means you'll get to know more about which paper you are going for. Then you can directly access the compass planning tool, which we talked about in the previous slides. Then there is a proper guidance from the examining team that what they expect from students for this paper. There are get ready modules for this paper available. There is link to the syllabus guides. Then there is a link to ACCA Study Hub, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you are making yourself familiar with these support resources as well. I will skip the next couple of slides because I've already covered this in the live demo. But again, if just very quickly, if you want to see how we can go to the ACCA study support resources. Now, the most favorite part again, which is ACCA Study Hub. So what is ACCA Study Hub? ACCA Study Hub is your free access to study materials with short quizzes, practice questions, flashcards. So what is, I'll just give you, before going into more details, I'll give you a brief introduction that what is ACCA Study Hub. ACCA Study Hub is an exclusive digital platform which is designed to provide you free access to study materials for all the students which are depending on wherever you are globally. It is available for students who are taking FIA exams, applied knowledge level exams, applied skills exams. So all the exams you can take support from. What's included in ACCA Study Hub? So within ACCA Study Hub, there is free online Study Hub content which covers the full syllabus. You will also have access to short quizzes to test your understanding as you progress through the chapters. And also, you will have access to practice and revision questions along with flashcards to help you prepare for your exams properly. So that is what's included in the Study Hub. Now, how you can access Study Hub? You can access Study Hub directly from your myACCA account. But I will not cover the Study Hub with the slides. Rather, I would like to show you how the Study Hub looks and what are the different components of ACCA Study Hub so that you'll have a better understanding. So I'll start sharing my screen again. So to take you through the ACCA Study Hub. So right now we are on the ACCA Study Hub portal. So this is I have opened ACCA Study Hub for audit and assurance level exam just for the sake of demonstration. So this is what you see once you open any of the exams. On the left-hand side, you can see there is a menu from where you can toggle between chapters. So you can see these are all the chapters which will be examined as part of your audit and assurance exams. Then there are flashcards. So flashcards are actually the knowledge or the knowledge test elements. So for example, if you're not sure about any of the terms, you can come to the flashcards, and we'll come to the flashcards later on and we'll see how these work. Then we have quizzes. So at the end of each chapter, you'll have access to quizzes. And again, you can either access them through chapter, or if you directly want to go into the quizzes, you can just click on the quizzes and it will take you directly to the quizzes section. And then also ACCA Study Hub is linked to the practice as well. So that means you can right, if you want to practice any of the questions, you can practice that as well. So now let's take a look at how it actually looks like. So I'll start with chapter 1. So you can see the chapter 1 is further divided into various sub-chapters. For example, if I start with the first chapter, which is external audit, you can go through the entire content. So you'll be able to see the entire content, which is part of the first chapter. And at the same time, you can rate your confidence as you move on. So for example, once you have completed the first chapter, you can rate your confidence as high, medium, or low. Not only this, you also have the option of highlighting. So for example, if you want to highlight anything from this particular chapter, you can simply select that text and you can click here and it will highlight that text for you. Also, if you want to make sure that you want to unhighlight anything, you can just click and you can remove highlight. Also, you have the option of bookmarking section within, or subsection as you move along or as you progress from one chapter to another, so that if you want to refer back to the same section of within that chapter, you can come directly to that. So you have the option of bookmarking the section, and also you have the option of recording any notes. So for example, as part of your understanding, if I want to review this section, so you can make notes as you move along. Now, again, a very wonderful tool or a wonderful feature of ACCA Study Hub is that you can filter these different things between the different sections or the chapters. So for example, if I click only on confidence level, it will show me that what I have marked in different sections or different chapters. So for example, these are the subsections where I feel I am highly confident. These are the sections where I think my understanding is from low to medium or medium to high. And then these are the things where I think I need more understanding or where I need to put in more emphasis. Not only this, if I want to review the notes, I can just click here and I can click, it is showing me, that I made a note that I want to review this section, or if there are any other notes as part of the study plan, if I want to make those notes, I can make them as well. Then going forward, we have bookmarks. So if I click on the bookmarks, it will take me only to that section which I had bookmarked as part of the study. And then the next feature is the highlight. So if I click on highlight, it will take me only to the highlighted element which I highlighted as part of the study phase or the revision phase. So these are different features of the ACCA Study Hub. If we go back here again, we can then click on the chapters and we can move on to the next one. And then again, I can just keep on marking low and then medium and then high. And then again, once again, I can come here and I can check the confidence level as well. So these are how the chapters work. Now, if you see if we go to the end of the chapter 1, we can see there is a syllabus coverage. So there is a summary of the syllabus coverage at the end of each chapter, which will give us an idea that what are the topics which we have covered as part of the first chapter. And then there is a summary and quiz, you will find quizzes at the end of each chapter. So for example, if I click here, if I start quiz, these are the different questions which I'll find. So you'll find 5 questions at the end of each chapter, and I can just answer and move on to the next one. And this will give me an idea, an indication at the end of each chapter that, how I have done. So see, it has given me that out of the 5 questions, 20% of these are correct. And if I click here, if I click on review, it is also giving me a lot more information. So for example, it shows me that I selected the correct answer to be A, while the correct answer was D. I've spent 8 seconds on this question. The correct answer is D, and again, it is giving me a reason why this was the correct answer, and it is also giving me a connection that where this particular question was covered. So it shows me it was covered in chapter 1, section 3.3.2. So this is a wonderful tool to practice or put your preparation into practice as you move towards, from one chapter to another. Going back to the other elements or other features of these questions, there are flashcards which are covered, which are part of the ACCA Study Hub. So for example, these are quick knowledge check. So for example, assurance services. If I'm not sure which assurance services are, I can just click here and it will give me a brief definition of what is meant by assurance services. And it is also asking me a question that, did I actually get it right or not? So for example, if I say I got it correctly, I can click yes. The next flashcard is material. I'll click here, and if my understanding of this particular terminology was not right, I can mark it no. And then professional skepticism, I can do it partly. And then if I want to click on list, it is also giving me an idea about, what are rather than the flashcards in the form of flashcards, it is giving me a list of all the keywords or all the things which I should be aware of. And then towards the last, there is a dedicated module for practicing only. Again, from objective tests to all other types which I want to practice. So this is a wonderful tool if you want to make sure that you have more chances of passing your exams, and you don't have access to quality tuition. make sure you are familiarizing, or you are using ACCA Study Hub. But at the same time, we want to make sure that it doesn't mean, if you're using ACCA Study Hub, it doesn't mean in any way that we are asking you to move away from learning with an approved learning partner. Rather, this is a tool to actually help you, or to supplement to your effort towards passing your exam. So if you're studying with an approved learning partner, continue to do that. But at the same time, make sure that you are also taking help with ACCA Study Hub as well. So I hope ACCA Study Hub was clear enough. I will skip through some of these slides, because I've shown you the actual demo of how ACCA Study Hub works. I'll take 2 seconds just to make sure if you have any questions at this point, you can put them in the chat. Okay, now moving forward, we have another support resource which is called InSession emails. So InSession emails is, once you have booked for an exam, and as you move closer towards the exam, before the exam, we start sending you weekly emails which are tailored to your exam. So that means if you're not checking your emails regularly after you have booked your exam, make sure that you are checking these InSession emails, because we will signpost the core support resources every week, which we think that you should be referring to, and which will make sure that you have all the right support resources in place as you are progressing towards your exam day. So make sure that you are checking the InSession emails on the way towards your exam day. Along with that, I'm sure if not all of you, some of you are aware that we have a student accountant app. If you have not downloaded it already, make sure that you download the student accountant app as well, which is available on Apple as well as Android as well. On the student accountant app, we make sure that you get important updates about your exams. Not only that, you will get career advice, you will get tips for the interviews, you'll get advice directly from students and members as well as we feature advice directly from the tutors on this. So make sure that you download the ACCA Student Accountant app on your phone, and not only download, but you also are referring to all the support resources which we have available on the Student Accountant app. So what are the next steps? Make sure that you explore all the resources which are available on the ACCA Study Support resources. There is a one-pager document which I'll request my colleagues, Allison and Taylor, if they can put in the support resources window. On that one-pager document, you'll be able to find all the support resources which we have covered in today's presentation. Once you have access to those support resources, you start planning your study, because as already said, if you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail. And once you have the plan in place, make sure that you book your next exam and then start preparing yourself towards the exam. And now it's the time for the Q&A. I'll take a couple of seconds to pull those questions, but please continue putting your questions in the chat box. Okay, so I'll start with the questions. So the first question that we have today is from Soeb. The question is, does the 3-year work experience need to be achieved while studying ACCA, or can this be achieved beforehand? I currently have 3 years of experience as an accounts assistant and nearly 3 years of experience as an assistant accountant in the same organization. So while we were skimming through the list of questions, we noticed that there are a lot of questions regarding the PER. So with regards to this question, I'll give you an idea that ACCA qualification is very, very flexible. I mean, all the aspects of the qualifications are very flexible. We don't put any sort of restrictions when it comes to exams or when it comes to experience. That means experience element can be before, it can be before you have joined the ACCA qualification. It can be while you are studying for the ACCA qualification, or it can be post qualification. The only criteria in terms of the PER is that the experience should be in the relevant field, which means, it should be accounts, finance, audit, taxation related. And the second requirement with regards to experience is that it should be supervised by a professional accountant. So these are the requirements. If you have any experience before joining the ACCA qualification, that can be counted, or it can be counted if you start working after you are done with your exams, or while you are pursuing your examination. It can be any which ways. So the next question is from Bushra Iqbal Khan. The question is, how many papers will there be for ethics and professionals? So I'm assuming the question is for the ethics and professional skills module. So Bushra, just to answer your question, ethics and professional skills is an online module, which means there is no examination. It's an online module which has 10 units. So out of these 10 units, there are, we cover different elements within this module. So one unit is dedicated to ethics. Then there are other units covering other professional skills like business acumen, commercial skills, leadership, data analytics. And towards the end, there will be an end of module assessment, which means it's not an exam, rather an open book end of module assessment. And you just need to pass that assessment in order to clear the ethics and professional skills. There is no exam element associated with EPSM or ethics and professional skills. The next question is from Siam Thanda. I'm sorry if I am not pronouncing your name correctly. The question is, what happens when I fail an exam? Do I have to pay the exam fee again? That's correct, Siam. Unfortunately, if you fail an exam due to any reason, that means you'll have to pay for the exam fee once again. So if you're taking multiple attempts to pass an exam, every time, if due to any reason you're failing any exam, you have to pay the exam fee once again. Next question is from Kian McLaren. Is the applied skills and knowledge exams multiple choice? So the first 4 papers, which are the 3 papers at the applied knowledge level, and the 4th paper, which is the corporate and business law paper, they are mainly the multiple choice or the objective type questions. But starting from the 5th paper onwards, which is the performance management paper onwards, it is a combination of objective type questions as well as the long form essay style questions. So the first 4 papers are only the objective type questions. Again, the next question is with regards to the pass marks. So the pass marks for all ACCA exams are 50, which means you have to pass, you have to score 50 in order to pass any ACCA exam. The next question is from Astra. The question is, when we pass an exam, are we going to receive a certificate which we could add to the CV, for example, passing corporate and business law? So Astra, you do not get a certificate for passing each exam. So for example, if you are passing the first 4 papers, so as soon as you pass your exam, the on-demand CBE exam, you get your result right away, which we do not call a certificate. Rather, you get only 3 certificates as part of your ACCA qualification. The first certificate you will get will be once you pass the first 3 papers at the applied knowledge level, which is the diploma in accounting and business. So in order to get the diploma in accounting and business, you need to pass the 3 papers at applied knowledge level, along with an online module called Foundations in Professionalism. The second certificate is called Advanced Diploma in Accounting and Business, which you get upon clearing the applied skills level. And the third certificate will be the strategic professional level, which you receive once you have passed the last 4 papers at the strategic professional level. However, you can still download your exam transcript directly from your myACCA account, on which you can see the progress of each paper that you're going through. So that exam transcript can be, if you're going for an interview and if your employer is asking for your exam progress, so you can simply download your exam transcript. So the next one is from Mashego. The resources we get from ACCA, are they sufficient, or one must end up buying textbook? Again, Mashego, that is something that depends on it varies from student to student basis. The support resources that we have that we have created, these are to ensure that you have, they are there to support you, they are there to supplement you. I mean, if you do not have access to an approved learning partner, if you're in a country where there is no approved learning partner and you want to go for self study, and the support resources we have, they are sufficient enough to help you. But however, again, we recommend that you study with an approved learning partner at the same time. So that will vary. If you're confident enough that the support resources which are available on ACCA's website and different platforms, if they are sufficient enough for you, it will depend on your decision as well. The next one is with regards to the admission from Dipesh. Can you tell me the difference between FIA and ACCA admission? So the main difference is if you have a bachelor's degree or above, or if you have certain grades within O&A levels, that will make you eligible for direct registration into ACCA qualification. If you do not meet that criteria, then you'll have to start your journey directly with FIA. You have to pass those papers within the FIA qualification before transferring yourself onto the ACCA qualification. A simple way would be, again, just a quick way would be, go to Google and search for ACCA minimum entry requirements. You will get a link where you can, based on your country of residence, you can get advice that what are the minimum entry requirements in order to register directly for the ACCA qualification. Okay, the next question is from Andrea. Do we need to be registered to an exam to access the ACCA Study Hub? No, you don't need to be registered for an ACCA exam. You still have access to ACCA Study Hub. You can get access to that right away. So make sure that you are getting yourself familiar with that. Next one is with from Naveen. I have a question regarding exemptions. I'm qualified CA from India in May 2010. As per the exemptions calculator, I'm entitled to all 9 papers of applied knowledge and skills module, but I'm awarded only 8 papers except PM. So Naveen, when we talk about exemptions, yes, that's correct. On the basis of some qualifications, you are eligible for all 9 exemptions, but there are some other factors which our customer services team take into consideration before awarding the exemption. So I would recommend that the best way would be that you send all of your educational documents to our ACCA Connect team on students at accglobal.com. They'll be able to assess your exemptions and get back to you with regards to any confusion that you have. The next one is, can I do my strategic exams online, and can I sit for an exam in a different country? So Nabil, that is a very good question. That ACCA exams are, the beauty about the qualification is that you can give an ACCA exam anywhere in the world. So we have exam centers available throughout the world. So you can, if you want to do, you can sit for 13 different exams in 13 different countries, because ACCA also have the option of giving an exam as remote invigilation. So make sure that you go through the relevant section on ACCA's website where we have covered all the information with regards to remote invigilation. So you can, yes, just to answer your question shortly, you can definitely give the strategic exams online. The next one is from Nikita. Is there a limit to the amount of attempts you have for taking the strategic professional exams? So yes and no. I mean, if I have to answer in more detail, there is no limit on to how many times you can attempt any exam within, throughout the ACCA qualification. The only condition at the strategic professional level is the 7-year rule, which means once you have passed your first exam at the strategic professional level, you will have 7 more years to pass the remaining 3 papers. So that means if you're taking more than 7 years to pass the remaining 7 papers, the paper that you have passed prior, 7 years ago, that will also be expired. So you need to make sure that you pass the remaining 7 papers within that time. So the next question is from Rahul. Can I attempt examination from my home? Is there any specific requirement? Rahul, I just answered that question. You can definitely give your exam from your home, which is called the ACCA Remote Invigilation Exam. There are specific requirements to give the remote invigilation exam. It is recommended that you go on to the specific section. I'll request my colleague to share the link on the chat where you can find the specific requirements with regards to remote invigilation. There are specific requirements with regards to the system that you need to use. There is how you need to give the exam. There is a room setup requirements as well. So you please make sure that you understand those requirements before booking yourself for the remote exams. So the next one is from Ravi Kiran. Once we qualify final level, do we get membership of the institute directly or just a certificate of final completed? So Ravi, I think we have covered this in the presentation as well. In order to qualify as an ACCA member, you don't only need to pass the exams only. Rather, there are 3 components of the qualification, which are exams, ethics, and experience. So once you have completed all 3 requirements, then you have to record your experience on the myACCA account. There is a full process. I would recommend, if I have not covered already, please make sure that you subscribe to ACCA's Study Support Resources YouTube channel. On that channel, you will find more information with regards to ACCA practical experience requirement as well. So where you can find out, how to record your experience. So in order to gain the membership, you have to complete all 3 components, and then you have to separately apply for the membership as well. Next one is from Mahindran. Are the syllabus of the ACCA subjects change? And if that change, it would make a big difference in the exams. So yes, Mahindran, just to answer your question, we keep on changing our syllabus quite regularly. Make sure that you are referring to the most up-to-date syllabus guide. I have shown as part of the presentation, I've shown that how you can access the most updated ACCA syllabus study guide. So make sure that you go to the most up-to-date syllabus guide and then prepare yourself according to that. The next one is Husna Rawat. How do I book an exam? Just in the best interest of time, subscribe to ACCA Study Support Resources YouTube channel. On that, you can simply search for ACCA, how to book an ACCA exam. You will find step-by-step, process of how to book an ACCA exam. So that is the best way, because even if I start explaining, it will take a lot of time. Okay, there is another question. From Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, are there job opportunities for ACCA members in Middle East? Hassan, I would say that, I think this is not the right webinar for this. Personally, I would advise you to, go to ACCA Careers portal, where you will find all the relevant job opportunities depending upon wherever you are based in the world. And I'm just skimming through more questions, just in looking, we have 2 more minutes to go for. Okay, so there is another one from Lonella. Will I be able to sit an exam if I didn't pay the subscription fee and for exemptions? So Lonella, if you are, for example, if you haven't booked your exam, and I'm assuming you're referring to the exams at the applied skills level, if you haven't paid your subscription or the exemption fee and you try to book your exam, let's say for the June session, the fee will be automatically added to your outstanding, your exam fee, and you'll have to clear your annual subscription and exemptions fee before going for any of the exams. So yes, make sure that you pay your annual subscription and exemption fee before booking the exam. So with that, I think we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you very much for attending today's session. If you missed some part of the webinar, or if you were not able to if there were any sort of technical difficulties, Martin explained at the start of the session that you will be getting a link to the recording of the session to make sure if you have any confusion, you can always go back uh, to the recorded session. Thank you very much, and we would like to wish you all the best for the upcoming exams. Thank you very much.